What's up, everybody? So the WWE released their top 5 rivals of The Undertaker, similar to the Hell in the Cell matches. We talked about that last week. Randomly in the middle of a show somewhere, I talked about my favorites. Maybe I'll make an official video on it, and we'll go into it some more. But this is the list from WWE, putting Triple H, the #1 rival of The Undertaker, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and really quickly go through mine. You guys have requested this all week long. I think this is actually pretty easy for the most part. I think some people might disagree possibly, but for the most part, it seems easy to me. First of all, number 5 being Brock Lesnar. I'd probably agree with that. Maybe, but, you know, Triple H, as far as Triple H goes, he had 2 Hell in the Cell matches with Undertaker back-to-back, and he also had that WrestleMania 17 rivalry as well. And, you know, of course, he was around in the Attitude Era with the DX stuff and the Ministry stuff, but they really didn't cross paths that much. And when the Undertaker had a bigger rivalry with someone back then, it was probably actually Shawn Michaels, even though theirs didn't last that long. And Triple H was, you know, Shawn Michaels' partner at the time, you know what I mean? So there's the connection, I suppose, there. But I'm still going to have to go ahead and put Triple H at number 5. WWE has him at number 1, which is crazy. But I'm going to go number 5. So that is my number 5, Undertaker and Triple H, despite WWE putting it number 1. For number 4, I would then go Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar has been one of the biggest adversaries, threats to The Undertaker there's ever been. He ended the streak. He's beat him several times. They've had, he's always been kind of tough on The Undertaker. So, like, as far as, you know, guys who've gotten the better of him, it's been Brock Lesnar. I haven't really enjoyed too much of what they've done for the most part, other than, you know, the streak ending was a pretty shocking moment. And they've had the memorable, I think it was it SummerSlam, the match where they had where they looked at each other, and that was a pretty good match. So they've told a pretty good story, but I'm going to go ahead and go number 4 with that. Maybe even number 5. Like, I'm really stuck between this one and Triple H being number 4. I almost want to put Triple H number 4, but because of how, you know, I think I'm going to do that. Should I change my mind already? I'm going to change my mind, because it's a big rivalry for sure. But yeah, the Triple H one feels forced, so I'm going to keep it the same. So Triple H number 5, Brock Lesnar number 4. So there you go. Triple H number 5, Brock Lesnar number 4. And then I would probably put number 3. I'd put Kane number 3. Because that story, mostly for the story in 1998 when Kane arrived at Hell in the Cell during the Mankind or Mick Foley Undertaker match, that was epic, dude. This was like, you know, they'd been building Kane for so long that he was going to show up. Then he did. And the build to WrestleMania 14 here in Boston is like one of the best builds in WWE history. It's got to be the top 10, you know, like builds or rivalries of all time. You know, it was, dude, that was so good to watch. I can still quote all the lines from it. The theatrics in that was amazing. You know, after that, then they've had their little moments and when they joined each other and stuff like that, but that doesn't count as a rivalry. But, you know, then there was when The Undertaker returned as The Undertaker, and, you know, a few other things. So they've had a really connection. They've had a really good story, and that to me is a better rivalry than, you know, maybe having 4 matches over a certain amount of time. So I'm going with Undertaker and Kane number 3. Obviously, then going number 2 with Mankind and Undertaker, because although WWE has them at number 4, I'm going number 2 because I will never forget as a kid, you know, liking The Undertaker, and then the Undertaker's first real rival, you know, was really Mankind. You know, you go back to all the other people that The Undertaker ever wrestled, you know, he pretty much just squashed just about everybody. You know what I mean? Or he beat everybody eventually. You know, he was just so powerful at the time. But it wasn't until Mankind came on the scene that The Undertaker appeared to be vulnerable, and somebody like really caused a stir here. And you know, Paul Bearer turned on The Undertaker to help with Mankind. I mean, it just became, that was at the time the most interesting storytelling rivalry The Undertaker had ever had. Everything else was, you know, beat Jake Roberts at WrestleMania. You know, he beat this guy at WrestleMania, he beat that guy. You know, Giant Gonzalez was, of course, a threat, but he chloroforms him. That didn't go anywhere. You know, I think Undertaker beat, like, Mr. Hughes at WrestleMania 11. And so, I mean, really, Mankind was the first guy to have a rivalry with Undertaker. So, and it was really good. The Boiler Room Brawl, the Buried Alive stuff, everything they did was great. They had really good chemistry, and it was fun to watch. And normally, if you put a guy like, you know, like Man Claw or, you know, big, you know, little big fat guy against Undertaker, it wasn't going to be good. You know what I mean? But Mankind, Mick Foley, man, he made it look great, and they did a good job. So that's number 2 for me. Number 1 is obviously, to me, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. There's so many different reasons for this. So many different reasons for this. I mean, I don't know how WWE can put out a list like this. They know it, too, because they put Shawn number 2 on their list, and Triple H number 1, which is ridiculous. First of all, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, you know, they really got cooking around the time with Bret Hart and the Attitude Era. I mean, they've had some things before that, but they really got cooking around that time. And the Hell in the Cell match, that Hell in a Cell match was one of the best matches in WWE ever, and it will always be the best ever actual wrestling match in a Hell in the Cell. And, you know, they had a really good rivalry at that time. You know, and it seemingly was out of nowhere because I really wanted Shawn to get Bret, and then all of a sudden it was like The Undertaker jumped in there, and that was great right there. The chemistry they had, the matches they had, the rivalry they had at that point. And then, you know, I'm skipping a lot of things here, but I'm trying to rush through this list because my kids are around here and I'm doing things. But, you know, then of course, over the years, Shawn and Undertaker would hook up here or there for matches, but then of course the WrestleMania matches they had, you know. Those huge matches at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 25, one of the best matches in WrestleMania history. The next year, WrestleMania 26. So, you know, right there, Shawn Michaels equals the amount of matches that Triple H has had with Undertaker. But I believe that the ones that Shawn Michaels had with Undertaker were more meaningful and better. So that puts it above Triple H right there. Despite there being 3 pretty big matches that both Shawn and Triple H have had with The Undertaker. WrestleMania 17 was pretty good. And the last 2 with Triple H were okay. But Shawn beats him in every category. The Hell in the Cell match was probably, if not the best one of all of them, number 2 behind WrestleMania 25. And even Shawn and Undertaker's third best match is probably better than all the Triple H matches, in my opinion. So, and I might even put probably one of the Hell in the Cell matches, and then WrestleMania 17 was a pretty good match. So there you go. I don't know. That's my case. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, number 1. Shawn Michaels is the number 1 rivalry of Undertaker. And certainly if they revive this coming up in the next few months this year, that would be wild. And there's my list. You guys wanted me to do it. I got a lot of emails, a lot of tweets about this. So there you go. What do you think? Would you change anything? Let me know. I'm going Shawn Michaels number 1, Mankind Mick Foley number 2, Kane number 3, and then I think I said Brock Lesnar number 4 and Triple H number 5. So, I mean, you could probably, a lot of people might say, well, maybe Triple H should be in number 3, you know, so, or number 4. You know, I could see that. But I don't think anybody can outdo Shawn Michaels, Mankind, and Kane as far as rivalry goes with The Undertaker. So, that's my opinion. See you guys tonight for the Smackdown review. More to come and some more stuff coming up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Hope you guys become patrons. And I will see you tonight for the review. Thanks.